What is up, guys? Today we have a special guest. We have Joe here. He has over 10 years plus experience of being a mechanic. And today we're going to talk about being a mechanic, the ups and downs, the things you need to know if you want to go in that trade. Good day, Joe. How you doing today, Joe?
What's up, bro? What's going on, man?
How's your day going? Or how's your weekend going?
My weekends are lazy most of the time, man. I
Yeah.
try not to do too much.
I'm always kind of busy doing stuff around the house. But yeah, I wanted to bring you in here just to talk about a little bit about if people want to be in a mechanic career. How to go about that? Do you need to go to school for it, or can you just start off?
Going to school is definitely a plus, but you have to want to do it. If you're interested, it's a must. You have to have enthusiasm to want to do
Yeah.
it. Some people do it just for personal reasons. Some people do it for career-wise.
Yeah.
If you want to do it to career-wise, I would suggest going to a school for it. You can learn a lot, especially with updated technology. Get the best of that because you're going to need it. Technology's changing this industry a lot.
Yeah. And do they even have school over here for that? Or I don't know if LIT has that schooling for
LIT
that.
used to have it. I don't think they do anymore. I think our area is more focused on the refinery section. But Houston does have UTI that you can go to in different other areas. What it costs now, probably a lot more than what I paid for when I went. But yes, definitely to get a start. Even if your high school offers training.
Yeah. Because back in TJ, they used to have Stillwell, right?
Stillwell, yes. TJ and Lincoln High School offers Stillwell for automotive, body shop, welding, different types of trades.
Yeah. But I don't know if they even have that offer. They even offer that anymore. I think they got
Bro,
rid
you
of
and I
that.
have been out of school so long, we have no
Yeah,
clue what goes
exactly.
on these
I
schools
think
anymore.
what the TJ now is actually a ninth grade center or something like that. I'm not sure. But like tool wise as well too, I was gonna get with you. Does you have to probably provide that yourself?
If you go to work for a dealership or a mechanic shop owned by an individual, yes, you definitely gonna have to own your own tools. Very costly because a lot of the tool trucks that come around the shops are mainly from main vendors like Snap-on or Cornwell. There's others, Mac Tools. Very expensive. I would start off with basic tools from Craftsman or Lowe's,
Harbor Freight probably.
Harbor Freight.
just to
Just
start
something
off.
simple to start off. Try not to spend too much because these cars a lot of the cars use the same size bolts, and you don't really need a $30
$30 socket.
$30 socket, or a 400-piece tool set. It's just a basic tool set just to start off. I would advise people if they have no experience in automotive and they want to go into it, start at a lube shop. Start by learning how to do your basic stuff on vehicles, like
Change your oil.
changing your own oil, learning how to change your own battery, changing the fluids in your car.
Yeah.
Simple stuff.
Rotating tires. That's the one thing I was gonna ask you. How about rotating tires? Is that something really that you have to do in your vehicle?
If you want your tires to last longer than what the manufacturer requests on how long, let's say you buy a 50,000-mile tire, you want them to last longer, yes. Rotate your tires, maintain proper air pressure in them.
Oh, so it actually does help. Okay. I thought it was like, okay, it's just kind of like some BS, so that way they could get you in there to have them service.
That kind of stuff, if you have a jack and a couple of jack stands, you can probably do it yourself. Save you, maybe $20 to $25 that they charge at some places. Some places when you buy your tires, they offer it for free to rotate your tires.
Yeah.
And some of them offer a lifetime balance where you can just bring them in and they'll rotate and balance them for you whenever you need, as long as you maintain, at their stores.
Yeah. Yeah. Going back to the tools and stuff, like you used to like the sockets and sets and stuff like that. You really don't, I guess you don't want to spend too much money on a socket price because you're gonna lose certain sockets all the time,
right away,
right?
because you're always. I promise you're always gonna lose something.
The 10 millimeter, you're
10
gonna lose it.
millimeter, on Hondas, like you'll lose them quick. So buying a $35 socket, snap-on socket, it's not the best way to go. You know, just go down to your Harbor Freight or your Lowe's and buy you
Yeah.
just a socket that may cost $8-9.
Yeah.
Works just as good.
But yeah, but mostly the snap-ons, they mostly, I think you probably need to get like specialty tools that they have.
They
there.
do. They snap on Mag tools, Cornwell tools. They do offer specialty tools, but a lot of the times, I mean, if you get in this industry, I promise you, you're gonna figure out ways to do things without buying some specialty tools, and then sometimes you will need your specialty tools. But I don't know how many times I've come up with ways to do stuff, and I didn't need to buy a specialty tool. I built it.
You could build your own
I build
stuff.
it. I build it myself. So it works.
Yeah.
So.
But how do they work? Isn't it like something if you buy from their truck and then it breaks, they could replace it?
Well, a lot of vendors offer that now. Some they offer a lifetime warranty on their tools. You break a socket, you break a wrench.
Yeah. So that's
know.
why you're probably paying the extra money right there because
A lot of times that's what you're paying for. 99% of that. I'm not to knock on Snap-on or Matco tools, but you're paying for the brand of the tool, the name brand.
Yeah.
That's it. A lot of the tools are made here in the U.S. and if you can find them made here in the U.S., great. If you can't, hey, it still works out the same. They still offer a lifetime warranty. Some of your local parts stores also offer tools, and they offer a lifetime warranty. And it'll be a brand you ain't never heard of, but they work just as good.
yeah. And what else I was gonna ask you? Oh, what call it? So what car do you think is like one of the easiest cars to work on? Because I know how the Japanese are different from German cars and American cars. So me personally, I think it was probably Japanese cars.
Right now, I mean, if you would ask me that question 10
Well,
years
yeah,
ago,
the older ones, yeah.
I would say the Honda, your Asian vehicles, only because I've driven them, and not saying that that's what I have now, but they last a little bit longer, and
Yeah.
their warranties, they warranties a lot better now. Just technology today is changed so much in vehicles, so it's really really hard to say what vehicle is gonna last you longer
Yeah.
nowadays. They all come up with their ways of extending the life of the vehicles, extending fuel on vehicles. It all depends on their system and how it's programmed.
Yeah, because I know it's like, especially Toyota, they've been going a lot away from, let's say, like the Tundra. I got Tundra, right? So, they used to have a V8 engine, but now they got a V6 twin turbo. And then also now the Tacoma, they went from V6 to a four-cylinder twin turbo, I think, on that as well, too. So they're going big time on,
Yeah, they're
turbo.
changing, they're downgrading the size of the motor and using a smaller motor and using what they call nowadays EcoBoost.
yeah,
Back in the day, us older mechanics would call them turbos, but right now they're calling them EcoBoost. Same kind of works the same way.
yeah,
But for me, when they start to add stuff like that, it's more things to break, more things to change,
Yeah.
more maintenance to keep up on them. I prefer a V8 engine without any of that stuff.
yeah.
But that's just me. Uses more gas mileage, but hey, you want something, you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah, and then also I noticed that a lot of the new technology vehicles have like e-brake, electronic brakes. I'm old school. I like to have the old mechanical braking.
Electronic braking has been a big thing on these newer vehicles. I've noticed on some of our vehicles that I've purchased, the automatic braking sets itself, and if you hit the gas pedal, it'll release. I don't like that personally.
Yeah,
I personally don't like
I really
that,
don't
so
like it. It's like I like to have the safety of it, knowing the brake.
I can release it, or you can release it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's me. Me too. I like to have control of certain things.
Yeah, even the tailgate now as well too. That's electronic too. It's like, okay, so if the battery dies, I can't even open the tailgate.
Yeah,
They're like-
that's a big concern. You
Yeah.
don't, when everything's electric, you're hoping that your battery ain't dead so you can get in your car or get in your trunk to get what you need out of it.
Yeah. And what I call it, what I was gonna say, the pay wise, what do you think? I know it has increased dramatically since
The prices of vehicles? Oh
well,
yeah.
no,
Oh
not the
no.
price is just a vehicle, but the labor work on the
Oh
vehicles.
no. I've seen labor costs rise significantly. I'm gonna say $100 used to be $100 an hour has now risen up to $180 an hour. So yeah, it's gotten pretty high, and it's not. It doesn't help the little people when stuff gets so high.
Yeah, but I call it that should go back to I don't know how what's the percentage of what the mechanic themselves make from that they charge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it all depends on their work experience, how much you know, how long you've been doing it. Um, you can go work at a dealership with a 2 year, associate's degree from say UTI, and you graduate from there. You may start anywhere from $18 to $25, depending on how well you know the work.
Yeah, yeah. And then this type of job is pretty much commission based too, or do they offer like some type of
Oh
salary? It just
no,
depends.
a lot of the mechanic shops, including dealerships and personally owned, they usually go by commission base. If you don't have any work, you don't make any money.
Yeah, that's the thing. I remember when I was painting cars. What we have to do sometimes, we have to save our vacation days and save it towards the end of the year because a lot of times towards the end of the year when it's Christmas time, nobody wants to bring in their vehicle to get worked on because
Yeah,
they're busy
the worst times for automotive technicians are during the biggest holidays, your Thanksgiving, your Christmas,
and they're back to back too, but
and
November and December.
and around New Year in January because people are focusing on the holidays, focusing on Christmas and presents, and they're spending more money on that type of stuff instead of their vehicles.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Also, I was gonna ask you about like side hustling. If you didn't want to have this as like, your main career, you just want to do it on the side or whatever. It's a good income coming in, right? But you could do a job in the weekend for like maybe $200, $300.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you learn this type of trade, you can make some really good money at home, and still keep your other job, whatever whatever you decide to do. Um, all I got to say about that is you be honest with the people, the vehicles you work with. Don't try to sell them something they don't need or change something they don't need.
Yeah.
The best policy to be honest with people, and those customers come back. They come back to see you.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a handful of customers that they come back and see me, and because they've taken their vehicles to a dealership and they tell them they need this, and they're worried about what they say, so they bring it to me and I inspect them and I'm like, yeah, no, you didn't need this. So don't, if you're gonna do a side hustle, don't become that person. Don't sell something that's gonna be a potential future customer something they don't need.
Yeah, because eventually the word is gonna get around, and then
Oh yeah,
you're not gonna get no job.
your integrity just goes down the
Yeah.
drain with that, So yeah, be careful, not only with that because just don't spend your money that you make, just out there because you got to remember, you got eyes everywhere, taxes, the reality is you make so much money, you have to pay taxes on that money. Not saying that a lot of people do that, but it happens and people get caught.
Yeah. And doing this on the side too, you don't need that much room, I'm guessing. And they have people actually who do like mobile services where they go to, I guess, your house and they could do it there at your house that way.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of mobile mechanics out there. Don't see them too very often, but they are out there. There are some shops that provide mobile mechanic if the customer can't bring the car to them.
Oh, dealerships and stuff like that do that too? Or
I haven't seen any dealerships do that, but I have seen like local mechanic shops do that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So I call it. What else you think the viewers should know about this type of work? Just make sure that there's something you're gonna want to do, right? I mean, it is a good career path.
It
for
is a
trade.
good career path if, like I said, if that's what you want to do and that's what you want to learn and you're interested. Just be patient. Sometimes if you don't have the patience on figuring out a problem, especially when it comes to electrical work on vehicles, it can be a lot and it can be frustrating. You just got to take it step by step. When you work for like a dealership, they offer troubleshooting material that can help you with it. Follow the troubleshooting material.
Yes.
Learn how to read a wiring schematic.
Yeah, schematics. That's what I said. Yeah.
Those are very important to know.
Yeah, but also if you work in a dealership, I think sometimes they have this special program or whatever, a website where the dealership pays where you get the information of all the vehicles, how to tear them down. Huh?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. There's plenty of programs out there. Very pricey, but very handy. You got your all data, your Identifix. That's the only two I've ever used. If there are any other ones, I honestly I don't know if there's any other programs like that. But those two that I do know of.
Yeah. So like, also I want to say like you were talking about like the schematics and stuff like that. So you're gonna have to get one of those little tools, multimeters.
Multimeter, yeah.
Those are come up very handy. And stuff.
Those are very handy, but you have to know how to use them. You have to know how to check for voltage drops. Very important.
Yeah.
Very important tool.
And for people who want to like try to diagnose if something's wrong with their car, like say the car dies, and doesn't want to turn over, I guess you want to start with all the basic stuff first. Check the fuse, check the batteries, just little simple stuff like that. You
Yeah,
know
the
what I mean?
basic stuff always start with fuses and batteries. Some vehicles still, if you still have your owner's manuals, you'll have your owner's manual, and it'll tell you what fuse goes to what. Check those fuses first. Get your battery checked. Very important.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Anything else that you believe that the viewers should know? Change your oil. Well, that's one thing I was gonna ask you. Changing your oil. I know when we were growing up, the changing oil was supposed to be like every 3,000 miles, and some vehicles now it's 5.
So the industry, depending on what type of vehicle you have, they've created a maintenance minder program. The way that works, it reads time, it reads speed, how much has been driven. So it calculates it, and it has a percentage. Your percentage starts at 100, and it'll go down slowly the more you drive.
Yeah.
So the more you drive, the quicker you're going to be changing your oil change.
Yeah.
The less you drive, the longer it's going to take. So if you drive a lot, you probably only put 5,000 miles on it, and then you need an oil change.
Yeah.
But if you don't drive as much, you can it can go up to 8,000 miles before you need an oil change.
Yeah. Which is
So
crazy.
it changes and varies.
Yeah, if it's crazy because in the owner's manual for my Tundra it says change it like every 10,000 miles. That's like 10,000 every oil change. I can understand maybe the first oil change.
Well,
but-
that's the recommended if you don't drive it as much. That's what it recommends. It's just like they'll recommend to change your oil once a year if you don't drive your vehicle as much. I know personally of father-in-law that doesn't drive his car very much, so he pretty much changes his oil once a year
Yeah.
because he barely puts
Oh, yeah.
1,000 miles on the vehicle.
Yeah, I can understand that. But then again, you still need to replace it every once in a while because you don't want it to gunk up, I guess.
Yeah,
or-
that's true. You want to replace at least once a year if you don't drive it much.
Yeah. Here's I just thought about this. The extended warranty. Do you think people should get it on brand new vehicles or kind of wait to if you're gonna keep the
The way technology is growing so fast in automotive industry, I would advise people to look into it. That make sure it covers your powertrain, which is your engine and your transmission and your differential, anything that makes the car move. Check into it. Make sure the salesperson tells you what it covers and what it doesn't cover.
Yeah.
That way it prepares you, in the future if you do buy that car, how much money you're gonna be spending on those items.
Yeah,
Because it can be costly.
Yeah, and you don't have to get it like right when you get the car, and you could just wait till like you're about to lose.
Used to, yes, you can wait, but I don't know how things change all the time. Dealerships change how they do things, so always ask your salesperson, hey, if I purchase this, can I decide later to get this? And they should be able to tell you yes or no.
Yeah, because I remember when I got my truck, they kind of convinced me to get the warranty, and also the gap. So the gap is, and so I was thinking about it. Like, what, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off right now just to knock off all the principle of my truck, and then if I decide to stay with the truck longer than 36,000 miles, I'll get the warranty then. Because the way I was thinking about it, why do I want to pay interest on that money right there?
Well, yeah, if you want to save money, yeah, you don't want to buy the gap insurance. Gap insurance, I think, is through your bank or through the finance company.
Yeah.
That there is pretty much if it'll cover what your insurance won't cover.
Yeah.
It'll pay it off.
Yeah.
Or it'll cover if your car catches on fire. It'll we've had some cars just driving down the road and they catch on fire. So it's stuff like that. I mean, it is important. I know it's money you don't want to spend,
Yeah.
but what if?
Yeah. It depends how much you put.
There's always that what if.
Yeah,
You know?
it's always. I mean, it depends. I guess how much you put down on the vehicle. I guess if you put down, let's say 20%, I think you shouldn't need it probably.
Yeah. No. It all depends on how your credit score is. Anything nowadays relies on a credit score. It's just and your home finances.
Yeah. I remember back then getting a loan with the interest rate like almost 0% interest from the.
Oh, that'd be
dealership.
great if you can get a vehicle nowadays with a 0%.
Yeah, I
interest.
know. I want to refinance my truck on that price or that interest rate. All right, Joe. Any more tips for the guys out there if they want to go in this field?
If you want to keep from paying car notes, the best practice is to maintain your vehicle. All your fluids, your oil changes, keep them up. Your transmission fluid, keep them up. Your differential fluid, if you have a truck. All your fluids are very important. That will make your car last longer.
Yeah.
So if you're a person like me that doesn't want a truck note anymore, those are very important to keep up.
Oh yeah, because having no payments for a vehicle is always great right there. It's just you have more freedom right there.
It's cheaper to keep her.
Yeah.
And that's what I always say. It's cheaper for me to just fix it instead of getting a new vehicle and paying a $600 part.
Well, like my old truck, my little Honda Ridgeline, like I had that truck for almost 18 years, so I got my money's worth out of that truck.
Oh no, yeah, you can definitely get your money's worth out of a vehicle. But if bro, I've known you so long though, man. You've always been a money saver, so you can do that.
Yeah.
There's families out there that can't, man. They rely on one vehicle.
Yeah, exactly.
To transport their family. So
Yeah.
But that's the best pastoring, man. Always keep up your maintenance on your vehicles.
Yeah. Well, guys, that's the end of the show. Let us know what you think. If you guys can, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you like, and let us know if you got anybody interested who can come in on. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.